How can you help your odds of filling your tags? How do you know where you should be and when you should be there? How do you know when you might want to pass on that buck and wait for a bigger one? We'll get into how you can answer those questions with trail cams. Up next. I'm your host Evan. Welcome to Hunting Lessons. Thanks for joining me again on Hunting Lessons. Over the past couple episodes, we've covered a good chunk of what you need to know about gear. We've hit up clothing, boots, and day packs. Well, today we're out at a property that I'm going to be bow hunting this fall, and we're going to be setting up some trail cams. I'm also going to be setting up my ground blind today, and I'll put together another episode about that coming up. So be sure to subscribe, hit that notification icon down there so you don't miss what we've got coming up, and it really does help this channel out. So let's make the big assumption that you've either been successful at your door knocking, or you know someone with some land, and you've got a place to hunt lined up. Don't worry if you don't yet. I'm going to do another episode coming up on finding places to hunt. So this property we're at today, it's about 40 acres of woods, surrounded on two sides by pasture, two sides by fields. And there's a bunch of other stands of woods around. The animals move between them. So from my experience last year, there's a pretty solid split of both whitetails and muleys that we've seen here. Also, we've seen some elk just across the property line, but I didn't see any on the property or film any here last year. So we're going to go set up the trail cams now and see what kind of deer we might expect to see here in a couple of weeks when the season opens. I'm going to set up my cams right on the edge of the woods, see if we can catch them going between the woods and the fields in the morning and the evening. Now keep in mind, anytime you go onto a property, you're teaching the deer, so I'm going to try to stay to the edges of the woods and avoid bumping the deer. So I'm using a pair of Stealth Cam STC P12s. It's a pretty basic camera. It takes 3-shot bursts or 15-second videos. They've been reliable cameras and they've given me some pretty solid intel over the past couple of years. I'm setting them up today for the 4th year. Put a link to those down below in the video description, and I'll show some of the shots that I've pulled from these cameras later in this video. So let's go set up some trail cams. The deer been coming in through here. There's a path worn down through the grass right here. Got some fur on the barbs right here as well. So we're gonna go ahead and set up a camera right here and see what we can get over the next week or so. Little hack: if you're setting up your field cam and you can't find the angle that works for you on the tree, just go ahead, pop a stick in behind, either at the top or the bottom. That'll change your angle and give you what you need to set up your camera at the proper angle. So here's another spot along the same fence line around the corner where we're going to set up another trail cam. So you can see right here, a spot where the deer are coming through. They've got a path worn down on the other side. Take a look at this down here. They've even got divot in the ground dug in where they're jumping over from right here. So this is a spot I also had a cam set up last year. So we're going to set another one up here this year and see what we see coming over the next couple weeks. wanted to show you that could make your life a little easier is this USB card reader I picked up. So when I go check my cameras, I put a laptop in my pack and I bring this along. So right then and there, I can get it confirmed yes or no that there's animals that are going past the cameras. And download the pictures to bring home, empty the cards, and put it right back into the camera. And I'll put a link down below for the card readers for you to check out. You see that you've got nothing on your cameras in that spot when you plug it into the computer, you can move the camera to somewhere else right then and there. So another option is to bring a second set of cards with you and swap it when you're out checking your cameras. Downside is you might not know until you get home if your camera's picked up anything or not. And then you might be another week until you get back out and you're able to move your camera again to a spot that might give you some better pictures. Keep in mind, if that's your solution, make sure you mark your cards, because it would really suck to get out there, realize you've dropped your cards, got them mixed up, and you plug your original card back in, get home, and find that you're still looking at your blank card. So if that's your solution, make sure you get your cards well marked and don't get them mixed up. So that's it for this week. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll post some Instagram photos of what we pulled off these cams that we set up today. So if you got any ideas for what you'd like to see on hunting lessons, by all means drop me a line at contact@huntinglessons.net and follow us on Instagram. So folks, thanks again for joining me. Till next time, keep learning.